Okay, good morning everybody. We are on, gosh, I think it's Saturday. We're on our way over to Cape Wrath, which is possibly the most remote place that I'm going to. To get there, Malcolm the ferryman is going to take me across what I thought was a river or a estuary or something, but appears to be mostly sand right now. So I'm not quite sure how a boat gets across there. But we're heading towards Malcolm and his ferry. We're keeping an eye out for ninja sheep because they continue to throw themselves in my way. But yeah, good night's sleep, found a campsite, got power, everything's charged up. Jump on this boat, go across, leave the bike where it is, and then it's a 16-kilometer walk to Cape Wrath, and there is literally nothing for that 16 kilometers. I've booked in at a bunkhouse at Cape Wrath for tonight. I've got a bottle of wine in my bag, and then tomorrow we get the boat back, and then we head on down to Ullapool. So yeah, a busy day. Not quite sure about a boat and vestibular issues and migraines and so on, but we'll see how we cope with that. But yeah, a full day of travel to the lighthouse. So I've just met Malcolm. Malcolm is amazing. His ferry is a little dinghy with a little outboard motor on it. So he says we're going to go over as soon as the tide comes in. But his exact words were, "I'm going to wait for my boat to float," which was quite amusing. So we're just waiting for the tide to come in, and then we're going to head over. Okay, we made it. An hour in a minibus down a rickety lane that was last tarmacked in 1950. But we're at Cape Wrath, and there are about 7 or 8 other people on the minibus with me. There are only 2 people who live in Cape Wrath. That's the people who run the cafe up here. And I've just walked out, I've just walked to the tip. So I am officially, right now, the most northerly human being in the United Kingdom. So there is nobody in the United Kingdom that is further north than I am. I'm stood right on the tip of Great Britain on the most northerly point. So that's pretty cool. So I've done that. Anyway, I'll show you around. I'm sat down because of the wind, but I'll show you where I am. Bunk room at Cape Wrath. It's quite nice, don't need to bring anything with you. I brought my sleeping bag and a pillow, but that's all provided for you, so that's nice. You get a good night's sleep here, I think. And then out here, to get to it, like a storeroom stroke shed. So that's the bunk room there. I'm guessing they've got a bigger project on because there's loads of bits of wood and other things here. But what's really interesting, obviously they're remote, but just in case, let's put a light on so you can see. So many generators. So that's it. There's just me, one other chap, and the two people who live here for the rest of the day and tomorrow until the van comes back at 11:40 to take us back to the boat. Yeah, it's nice. Okay, so this is where we started in Durness. We came up here, we took the anti-clockwise road around here, and we stopped off in Wick. We then went up to John O'Groats, came across here yesterday, all the way along here to Durness, with the beach camped there. Then we've come down here, we've gone across this little inlet on a little tiny boat, had an hour-long minibus trip all the way up this one solitary single road to Cape Wrath, and we're staying in the bunkhouse tonight. Tomorrow, come back down here, pick up the bike, and then we're going to come all the way down this west side, all the way down to Ullapool. Okay, so the weather is okay today, but the news says that there is a storm front coming in that's going to have 80-mile-an-hour winds on Monday. It's Saturday today, so I'll be back on the mainland with no more boats to go on for Sunday, and then Monday when I'm travelling down the west side of Scotland, we've got 80-mile-an-hour winds and a storm, so that'll be interesting. Good morning. So it is Sunday morning. I'm still at Cape Wrath Lighthouse. Two more guys arrived at the bunkhouse at about 10 o'clock last night. So in this 280 square kilometre wilderness, there were three of us and the guy who runs the bunkhouse and the cafe. Yeah, there's no electricity, so if anybody's thinking about charging phones and things, don't think that. There's no electricity. Running water, I mean, there's a dribble that comes out of the one sink that there is for people to use. There is a toilet. There's no showers, there's no anything. But you know, what do you expect? You're in the middle of nowhere. So we're going to head out today, back to the boat, cross the estuary, and then back on the bike, reorganise the bike a little bit, and then we're going to head down to Ullapool, which is about 2 hours away, well, 2.5 hours away. But nothing like waking up to scenery like this. So my time here at Cape Wrath has come to an end. I'm going to be heading back on the minibus in a minute. But just a huge thank you to John, the chap who runs the place. I mean, it's phenomenal. You know, no wired electricity, no running water. I mean, you're out in the sticks, yet he runs a cafe and lodging, and he's cooked us food last night. He made us a full English this morning. You can buy chocolate and crisps and drinks, and I mean, it's phenomenal what he manages to achieve out here with his daughter. Huge thanks to Malcolm the ferryman, and to Stu, the guy who drove the minibus up here. It's 11 miles on a really awful track, and he does it several times a day. So huge thanks to them. Heading back to the boat now, back to the bike, and then we're going to head south down the west coast. Now there's a massive storm coming in, which is going to hit us on Monday, tomorrow, which apparently has 90-mile-an-hour winds. So need to have a think about that as well. But we're heading back now. So we've stopped on the side of the road to see I think it's called the Widow Maker Waterfall. In all the guidebooks it says that this is something to be seen. So I've got the drone stashed in my coat and we'll go and see if we can find it. Definitely not one for wheelchairs. Whew. It's a bit of a walk in a full suit as well. So, we made it to the Widow Maker Falls. Okay, it's absolutely pissing it down. So the cameras are going to be put in the top box, and I've got about an hour left, so I'll just make short of that rather than stopping to film anything else. I'm going to head to the bothy, get under some cover.
So we made it to Badrallach campsite. It's quite a way out actually, but we're here, we're set up, tent is up, bike is happy, and I'm making a cup of tea. And I think tonight I'm going to have pasta pesto and wine. So that probably brings us to the end of the day today. Tomorrow there's supposed to be 90 mile an hour winds. So yeah, it might just be my bike and the kettle left. The tent might have disappeared. But yeah, let's see how it goes. I've got to go to Applecross tomorrow, which is another 2-hour drive, so I'm hoping it's not too bad. If it is too bad, I might just stay in the I was going to say brothel, in the bothy. Let's see how it plays out.